We will try to make boring content great again. So I have a difficult mission today. I have to explain you in 10 minutes tops why tech and journalism is a love and hate story, and why Web 2.0 started like a promise for our industry, but then everything changed. 3.5% public interest content consumed by the Romanian audience in 6 months. This is the result of an extensive study that we've conducted as Ethical Media Alliance, looking at what Romanians are reading every day and categorizing each piece of content in different little boxes. And this is the reality. So less than 10% is news, less than 4% are public interest news. So news about economics, news about politics, news about different things that really impact our lives. Okay, how we get here, and the key question is, can democracy and a free market with flourishing tech startups exist in a world where the power is getting stronger only for those that can manipulate algorithms and capture our attention? We don't think so, but we are not here to complain. We are here to identify solutions also from the tech world. The discussion is pretty complicated because we love lies. If we have in our audience growth managers or marketing managers or entrepreneurs that are at the very beginning of their journey, sometimes you are faking it till you're making it. It's logical for us as humans to also utilize somehow manipulation, little lies. Okay, you are home very late at 2 o'clock and you have to improvise a story to maintain your relationship and so on and so forth. So this is part of who we are. And fake news is nothing new. It's nothing that is related only with technology. This is a piece of fake news story from a print magazine newspaper in Romania that is saying that a hen gave birth to 2 alive chicks. And this was viral before social media. This was viral before internet. The truth is that I don't know if we are realizing that we've moved entirely, almost entirely in online. So basically, all our qualities, everything that is good and bad about us is already in digital. And we imported there good things and bad things, and the time that we are spending in real life, let's say, in person, is decreasing heavily. If we are looking at data in Romania, how much time people are spending online, we can see that basically the young generation is virtually living already in a digital world. If you reach my age, basically the consumption of internet and television is quite in an equilibrium. But what I don't think is very obvious for everybody is that the internet is not just a form of media, it's a new medium. In this medium, we are utilizing text, audio, visual, digital, and more. And we are utilizing that to achieve a better social position. If you're a politician, you want to gain power. So the disinformation equation is very complicated. It's not only about business, it's not only about money, it's about everything that makes us humans, with good things and bad things. And we have a passion for bad things, and I recommend you this book to understand why bad news is always more successful. Bad news, not real news. So the real problem of the world now is that we have still Paleolithic emotions, so we are scrolling like hell. Medieval institutions, our governments, our political parties are not yet adapted for this world, and technology that looks magic. So, what was the fundamental ethical, non-ethical decision in the Web 2 era, and why technology is very important, why we started seeing technology as a good thing for for journalism and for public interest content, and why now we have this issue, and why now we have to find solutions also from the tech world. When I was young, before internet was here, Web 0.0 was with no information at all. In a communist country, this was the television scheduled for one day, only 2 hours, and we were seeing only our beloved dictator talking. Then what happened? In the Web 1 era, in the 90s, we started to see the first web projects that were only unidirectional. So we start to have televisions online, newspapers that we were able to also read in an online version, and so on and so forth. But it was a very important detail. The commercial side of the business and the journalistic side of the business were completely separated, and the advertising in between was a completely different story. So journalists tried so hard to capture audiences, and the commercial and marketing departments, they tried very hard to monetize this attention through advertising. Then this happened. The first display banner in 1994, and the first campaign with a little CTR of 44%, because it was the first digital display banner, and tech took over. We started to optimize each second of the attention of the public, each second, each click, each impression, better and better, and of course, we optimized as hell. We replaced both the commercial side and the editorial side with more and more tech and more machines. That's why the role of the journalist that is having in mind the public interest and the news that really matters decreased. So Web 1.0 copied the old world, and Web 2.0 disrupted this, using this bidirectional and driven by tech media consumption. Is what we see today, and we are complaining about algorithms and the way our attention is being captured. So, a good reminder, Web 2.0 runs on ads, not based on positive social impact. And this is an issue that was generated by technology without an ethical layer embedded. We saw that in the pandemic time, where we were fighting online if we take the shot or not, if we are doing the vaccine or not. And who were the bigger winners of those? Meta and Alphabet had huge increases in revenues, because if we are hating each other, we are fighting each other, for them is only more inventory, more ad inventory. So there you go. If you have a startup and you have a 74% increase in revenues, what you gonna do next? Of course, you want to repeat that. So anger can be a business model. Monetizing hate at scale, monetizing division at scale. It's a profitable business. There you go. Welcome in the new world where we have those money on the table in Romania. Those are the advertising money that are being traded in all mediums. But the total online market is only 325 million, and the local online is only 32 million, and the digital journalism from all this is only less than 10 million, so less than 1%. Less than 1% from the money that are being invested in the digital media ecosystem is for journalism, and 3.5% is public interest news. So then we wonder why democracies are not being more consolidated. That's why. The daily revenues of big tech in Romania, close to 800,000 euros. This represents less than 0.06% out of their total turnover. So that's why they are not responding to your emails when you have a problem. If you represent 0.06, you can imagine you're not such an important revenue stream for them. To make this even more fun and complicated, we have this very exotic thing in Romania that is called propaganda money for political parties. Where do you think those monies are being invested? In good journalism? No, of course they are invested also in fake news and manipulation, because they are attacking their opponents. An ethical digital marketing agency that is saying, okay, look, we can do a strategy for you, for the people to know what good things do you want to do, to make for humanity, is naive, because the politicians are looking for the bad guys that are able to do tricky stuff, to manipulate the algorithm. And we saw in Romania what happened with that. So, the algorithmization of everything that is being labeled as digital content, this chaotic mix between ads, opinions, fans, journalists, fakes, is the major unethical decision of the Web 2.0 era, because this is what everybody wants. The lowest price possible for an ad, for the highest reach and engagement possible. You can see prediction, how much money you will make if you produce content for each category. This is a Google preview mechanism. So basically, truth became a tradable commodity. Truth is somewhere, and is very gray and very hard to understand. And everything that is sensational wins every bid, so the money are there. So, when was the last time you got your news from an e-commerce website? Sounds absurd, because it is. But this is what is happening now. We are using the wrong tool for the wrong purpose. We are using an e-commerce machine that is being optimized for conversions and e-commerce in order to get our news and form our opinion and go to vote then. This is wrong. Because machines are trained to be efficient only, not ethical. It's not like, for example, in automotive industry, where you have to respect rules of driving on a public road. No, in a digital space today, what matters is only efficiency. If you sell, is great. If you are producing content that is viral, is great. Truth is optional and sometimes is creating problems. And this was from the beginning in the algorithm. And I think the ethical tech, the new wave of tech, should be different.
When Facebook was getting going, I had these people who would come up to me and they would say, you know, I'm not on social media. And I would say, okay, you know, you will be. You don't have to participate, but, you know, we'll get you eventually. That thought process was all about how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible. And that means that we need to sort of give you a little dopamine hit every once in a while because someone liked or commented on a photo or a post or whatever. And that's going to get you to contribute more content, and that's going to get you, you know, more likes and comments. I mean, it's a social validation feedback loop that it's like it's exactly the kind of thing that a hacker like myself would come up with, because you're exploiting a vulnerability in human psychology. And I think that the inventors, creators, you know, and it's me, it's Mark, it's Kevin Systrom at Instagram, it's all of these people, understood this consciously, and we did it anyway.
So why this is an ethical discussion? It is an ethical discussion because digital is not the only or the first industry that is monetizing human vulnerabilities. We have other industries like tobacco or gambling that are doing exactly the same. They are offering you something and they are creating the dependency and they are monetizing this dependency. And scrolling is a dependency that we cannot control. Okay, why ethical tech is crucial to business and economics in a democratic society, and why this needs to change with a new wave of technology. Because the content we are receiving in the current ecosystem is content like that. Easy content, content that is being successful and profitable. This was the most read piece of story that we analyzed during those 6 months, and this is the revenue that is being produced by this story, more than 11,000 euros. In parallel, a journalistic investigation is much more expensive and it generates very often zero revenues and a lot of problems, and the journalists that will come up on the stage after this intervention will explain that. Journalism is a different thing, so we need to understand algorithmic content, algorithmic media and journalism are two very different stories. Journalism means content for public interest, not for profit, not for conversion. Journalism is not made for ads. It's made for public. This is a journalistic piece. This is the work behind. You see all the fact-checking that it is behind. This is expensive. But somehow we decided that truth is boring, truth is not efficient. We, as an industry, decided only to focus on profitability. And those things are out of control now. You can see here an ad from Google that is running a fake ad about a former prime minister. When you're clicking on this ad, you will reach a completely fake website with fake advertising. So the fiction is complete. A fake news story surrounded by fake advertorials to fake medical products. Okay, great. Made in Russia, of course, because Russians are very, very creative. And what happens after that? And we saw in Romania, if you believe that a tea can cure your cancer, for sure you can believe that also Putin is a better leader for Romania than, I know, European Union. And all those websites utilizing those data with low critical audiences around, transformed during the electoral campaign. We have a black market that is offering these fake news pages, fake possible viral campaigns. We are being offered by different providers, so it's an entire industry basically that is offering this service for who is able to pay. Bots, of course, are part of this. And what is the consequence? The trust in media in Romania is 33%, and they are right to be 33% because they cannot make any difference between an honest journalist and a public interest piece of story and something that is only being pushed because it's paid by a political party or is being pushed because an advertiser paid for that.
The issue is that democracy is based on trust, whereas dictatorship is based on terror. If you systematically destroy trust in institutions, destroy trust in the media, in academia, in the courts, and so forth, some people think that this is liberating the people so that from these institutions.
Right.
It's not. When you destroy all trust, the only thing that can still work is a dictatorship. Right. So this is what would-be dictators do. They systematically destroy trust. And the other thing to realize is that the vast majority of information is not truth. A key misconception, especially in places like Silicon Valley, is to equate information with truth. Most information is junk.
Okay, how can we act today? This is our main question, and we hope to start having some answers from the panelists that will follow, and the technical solutions that nice people that were invited are working for. We, at Ethical Media Alliance, we are trying to build an ethical European digital art and tech network starting from Romania. I think we can make a nice bridge between commercial efficiency and technology that is being built for a positive social impact. We are basically trying to push money from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen because we have different levels of shitty websites that are trying to steal our attention and money, and we are trying to push as much as possible towards journalism to encourage content that is good for democracy and for people, not only for business and algorithms. We have solutions, ethical advertising solutions, ethical content solutions, payments that are also ethical, and PressPay is here and they will explain what they do. So hopefully you will all join our mission. Thank you very much.